There's Frank and Sue and Wendy. Welcome. Good to have you. Happy Friday. Jason, welcome. Debbie, welcome. And Sandy as well. Good to have you, Sandy. Happy Friday to all of you. I'm still drinking some coffee here. I snuck out this morning, ran to the gym, and came back and, man, there's still some coffee in the pot. So I had a little bit of brunch and grabbed a cup of coffee. So I'm still sipping here before it gets cold. So it is what it is. Great to have you. There's Karen and Steve. Welcome. Happy Friday. It is a little bit odd day today. It was 74 on my car when I got home just about an hour and a half ago. Yeah, kind of like, whoa, 74? It is the end of July, all right? But I'll take it. Yeah. Donna, welcome. Good to have you. And Denise, welcome. Good to have you. Happy Friday to all of you. It is a good day. Lots of things going on. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. I am. Got some plans. Tell me about your plans. What are you doing? Tomorrow, we're supposed to have a family gathering. Randy, welcome. Hey, and maybe Josiah is with her. I don't know. Maybe. He might be with his, I forget what he calls her. Gigi, I think. Anyway, Matilda, welcome. But anyway, good to have you, Randy, and Matilda, and Paul, and Shirley as well. Weekend weather's supposed to be nice. Tomorrow, some of my family, not all of my family, but some of my family is going to go to a lake, and we're going to have a picnic and spend a little time together. Lord willing, that's all going to work out. I'm still trying to find those moments to sneak into the bungalow and float on the water. My favorite time to go is on a Saturday or Sunday because those are floaty weekends. Pay an extra $1 to get in, and then you can float. Yeah, that's kind of cool, you know. That's how I spent my post-VBS day last week. Jumped on our raft, and it's like a raft chair kind of thing. I think I was floating on that thing for 2 hours. Kind of got lost in the world, and that's a good place to be. Visiting your daughter in Nashville, taking a painting class, and then church. All right. Well, that sounds like fun, Karen. I'll be doing church, of course, church and church. But going to try to enjoy some outdoor weather as much as possible. But I still got work to do. Still got things I'm trying to get done here. I got a bunch of things I got to do at the church yet. So, where it fits, I don't mind taking off 2 hours in the afternoon to go swimming and then working 2 hours in the evening after I can't swim, right? Whatever, right? The world's not going to end because I did that. So, yeah, so we'll see. I don't even know what the rest of today brings. I just know that I have a full calendar of things to do. Whether or not I do them will be the question. Yeah. So what are you all doing? Karen told us what she's doing. I don't know that anybody else did. Oh, there we go. Nope, John and Kim are there. Shirley and Paul visiting brother in a nursing home in Shendo. Oh, do you see that? For all of you that are not local, that's not pronounced Shenandoah. It's pronounced Shendo. Okay, I've been here long enough to know that. And Kuzos, welcome. Good to have you. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be nice weather. Take advantage of it. They claim the humidity's coming back and the rain's coming back, and yeah, well, who knows? They don't know what they did yesterday. But anyway, that's what's going on. Anne Marie, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, it's been a good week. It really has. I got a lot of things done. We had a good turnout at TYM for our relaunch. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff. All right. And some difficult stuff. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. So tell me what you're doing this weekend. I'm going to take another sip. Oh, it's Anne Marie and Sheila. There you go. You're live from the Delaware Shore, Seashore State Park, 5 miles past Dewey Beach. No clue when coming back. Maybe never. You're not retired. How do you do that, Jason? I just want to know. Tell me. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know how you can go to the shore and think, I don't know when I have to be back. I'm glad you're having a good time, though, Jason. Hope your weather's good. Yeah, tomorrow, some of my kids that were going to go to a lake wanted to originally go to a beach, okay? First of all, you really want to go to a beach on a Saturday? Are you nuts? Okay? That was my first reaction. My second reaction was, I'm not driving like 3 hours to go to a beach and then 3 hours to come home in the same day. I got to preach on Sunday. Oh, Dad, you just have to drive to my house and you and Danette can come with us in our van. So that didn't work. But then they did a little bit of research and decided they may drive 3 hours and get a spot about the size of a postage stamp because it'll be that crowded. And so they're not going. Hey. With me. Beverly, welcome. Gary, welcome. Uncle has camper here. So he booked it and you're off so you can visit. Good for you, Jason. Enjoy it. Yes. Let me say this. It's good to work hard. We should, if we can. But let me tell you something. It's also good to rest and enjoy life a little bit. I keep telling myself, as many people as I have been with at the last moments of life, so far nobody said to me, hey, Pastor, I wish I just worked more. Nobody says that, okay? So, it's balance. Get the work done, work hard, do a good job, and take some time for life. Both are necessary. Yeah. That's how it works. Hopefully that works best. So, we are studying the faith of the faith-filled. We're in Hebrews chapter 11. Yesterday we talked about Isaac. I told you that Abraham was very old. He determined that his son should not have a Canaanite for a wife. He sent a servant back to his own country to find a woman for his son, okay? Imagine how that would work today. Like, I'm going to find you a woman. Like, they would say, get lost, right? Different culture, different time, different place. Isaac was 40 years old, and he actually married his cousin Rebecca. Since people spent their lives clustered together, that was not uncommon, not unusual for someone as a near relative, somebody of your own tribe, your own genealogy, to become a spouse. So, at 40 he married. 20 years later, he became the father of twin boys, Jacob and Esau. He favored his oldest son, Esau. Rebekah favored the youngest of the twins, Jacob. Now, remember, as I shared with you yesterday, birth order played a significant role. The firstborn child received a birthright. Upon the death of the father, the firstborn assumed the father's authority and leadership, became the patriarch of the family. They received a portion for that, and they received a second portion of the inheritance in order to provide for the care of the mom and any unmarried sisters. So, Esau came first. He got the birthright. Automatic, no question. But eventually, rivalry began between those twins. As I shared yesterday, I have twin grandsons. They are going to be 10 in September. They are as tight as they come as brothers, and they are rivals much of the time as well, okay? They will wrestle and fight and carry on with each other, but you just do something to one and they are like a tag team, okay? So I get a little bit of understanding about what twins are like. I didn't have twins as a father, but seeing as a grandfather, they're kind of intertwined in such a special way. That's what happens when you share a womb. But anyway, Isaac's wife Rebekah was the one who devised a plan. She carried that deception to her son, and Jacob willingly carried that out and deceived his father. Frank, welcome. And so a lot of unhealthy things occurred in that family, yet God says Isaac is an example of faith as he blessed, this is Hebrews 11:20, as he blessed Jacob and Esau in regard to their future. So the Genesis account, we'll pick up there in Genesis 27, beginning with 27. And it says, so he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you heaven's dew and earth's riches and abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and people bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. All of this he gave to his son Jacob. Imagine the blessing. Heaven's dew, earth's riches, abundant grain, new wine, favor among nations and people, submission from his family members. Even spoke with a hint of the Abrahamic covenant, the blessing those who bless you and cursing those who curse you, etc. Now you may be thinking, well, that blessing should be revoked. Isaac was being deceived by his wife. Let's take this to the Supreme Court, right? Well, all of that being true, but it seemed like God wasn't surprised by any of this. I've heard this story taught. I've heard as a young person. I heard it taught in Sunday school. I've heard it preached. But what we don't often include is that it was also God's plan for this to happen. Yes. Let me read to you Genesis 25, 22, and 3. It says, the babies jostled each other within her, and she said, why is this happening to me? So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. You hear that? God already said, chapters earlier, that the older one would serve the younger. Hey, Mary Alice, good to have you. So even though Isaac was being deceived, God was not deceived. God knew exactly how this was going to unfold. Rebekah, in some ways, maybe helped God out, but God knew exactly how it was going to be. It was God's plan that Isaac would bless the younger of the 2 sons with an abundance, and Jacob would receive the blessing. It was God's plan that he would be the heir of the promise that was given to Abraham. And so the author of Hebrews says it was by faith that he blessed Jacob and Esau. So how did he bless Esau? Well, again, let me read that verse. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau in regard to their future. Remember, there was only one birthright, but a blessing could be given to multiple sons. And so after Isaac was deceived, after the blessing was given to Jacob, Esau protested. Listen to verse 36 of chapter 27 in Genesis. Esau said, isn't he rightly named Jacob? This is the second time he has taken advantage of me. He took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing. And then he asked, haven't you reserved any blessing for me? He begged his father for some type of blessing. He said, do you only have one blessing, my father? Bless me too, he said. Robert, welcome. And then it says in verse 38 of Genesis 27, Esau wept aloud. So Isaac gave him this blessing. 39 to 40 verses. His father Isaac answered him, your dwelling will be away from the earth's riches, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck. So, remember the Old Testament blessing of a father to sons included words of encouragement, details regarding inheritance, prophetic words about their future. I don't know. It seems like he says he blessed them, but doesn't seem like a blessing. It was kind of like, no heaven's dew for you, no earth's riches for you, no abundant grain for you, no new wine for you, no favor among the nations for you. Instead, this is what you get. You get to live by the sword, and you get to serve your brother. No encouragement, just a prophecy that Esau would one day rebel against Jacob's rule, and that was fulfilled. Esau's descendants became the Edomites. They were a violent, warring people. They served Israel under David's rule, and they did break free and take their revenge. Every word that was spoken actually occurred. Isaac gave every ounce of blessing that he could to Jacob, the person that he thought was Esau. There was nothing really left to give but this prophecy. He may have been aware of what God had told Rebekah. Perhaps she didn't keep that a secret, that the older son would serve the younger. Yet he favored the older. Isaac tried to do what he wanted, but he was tricked. So God was fully aware of what would happen before the twins were even born. And he knew that Esau would give away his birthright. He knew that they would devise this scheme between Rebekah and Jacob, and he knew that Isaac would be tricked. God is not surprised by anything. God knows everything. God knows everything that is going to happen. We've had some tragic things happen here in our community, and God wasn't surprised. God knew. God was sad, but God knew. And he knows all of those things in our lives. He knows what tomorrow holds. He knows what today holds. He knows our future. He knows our faults. He knows our failures. He knows our flaws. Hey, Don, welcome. He knows our feelings and our frustrations, yet we can trust him. In Psalm 139:16, it says, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. God is already prepared for everything that we are going to face today, tomorrow, next month, next year. The future holds a surprise for us, and the future holds uncertainty for us, but not for our God. And that is why we can trust his faithfulness. We can seek him. In Jeremiah 33:3, it says, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. It is because of God's faithfulness that Isaac was able to bless his son Jacob. Isaac was an ordinary person, yet according to the author of Hebrews, he had extraordinary faith. And just as God knew everything in his life, he's not surprised by the challenges that you face either. And we can certainly trust him. Let me pray. So, Father, we do want to thank you for this, another example of faith. We thank you for the faith of Isaac, that even in the midst of family dysfunction and deception, your will was carried out. Lord, you were not deceived at all. In fact, all things occur in accordance with your plan for us. While we don't know what lies ahead, you know everything about us, and you know every second of our future. And we just can trust you, and we thank you that you are a God who is always faithful and loving and good, and we can trust you in all things. Help us to live by faith. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, I've got a couple of things to tell you. Sunday, I continue our sermon series entitled One and Other. We live in a world where hatred is hatred is common. Kindness and goodness are uncommon. In fact, mostly non-existent. We need to learn how to do better together as people. So in person, I have a service at 8 that's traditional, a contemporary service in person at 10, and a Facebook Live at 10 o'clock as well. Would encourage you to join in. I'll see you on Tuesday of next week as we continue this study, the faith of the faith-filled. Thanks for joining in today. It was great to be with you. Selfishness is common. You better believe it. And this world is a mess. And like I said in my message last week, when it comes to kindness, when it comes to decency, God's people should lead the parade. Sadly, we are not. And so that's why that series is happening. I'll see you on Tuesday at 12:30. In the meantime, take care, be safe, and God bless. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.